The 3, 2, 1, and introducing ourselves again?
Yeah, you'll see. Just follow my lead. All right, Jacked Experience, new studio, Hype Studios, LA. Here we go.
Three, two, one.
Bang, bang. You just fucked that up.
You do it again?
Fuck.
3, 2, 1.
Bang, bang.
Welcome to the Jacked Experience. I'm your host, Cynthia Sims.
I'm Carlos Madrid.
And we are recording in Hype Studios, LA.
Boom.
All right.
So.
Yes, sir.
You asked me.
Did you come up with my gift that I've only asked for 12 weeks?
I did.
What did you bring me?
You said you wanted a sex worker.
Yes.
You wanted a porn star.
I did.
And what else did you ask for?
I asked for someone who could represent the homosexual community as well.
And I got you all three.
No, you did not.
Damn right. And here is Christopher Daniels.
Hi! I'm so excited you're here. You're like the unicorn that I've been looking for.
What? Are you serious?
Yeah, so we started... the main reason we wanted to start this podcast is we really wanted to talk to people who would be deemed controversial and topics that made people uncomfortable, because I think that they're important to bring about change. And the two of us are so open-minded, within reason.
Mm-hmm.
And we really enjoy talking about things that make other people squirm, because I love to learn and I love to grow as a person. And I know Carlos is already pretty much perfect. And he enjoys sharing his opinion to the world. Mm-hmm. And I think sex workers are one of the most noble professions anybody can be in. And I really wanted to shed more light onto that particular profession.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Nice. It's kind of my norm, so I just don't. I'm sorry. It's interesting to hear that, so it's good.
Okay, good.
So welcome.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes. All right. So tell everybody a little bit about yourself.
My name is Christopher Daniels. I grew up in Canada, and then I moved to the U.S. about 19 years ago to pursue a career in classical dancing. I was a ballet dancer, a modern dancer.
Really?
Yes, so
That's amazing.
Yes.
Do you still dance?
God, no.
Oh, okay.
No. And then I'm retired. So, but yeah, I did. And that's why I moved here. There was a lot more work here than there was in Canada, and I had a semi-successful career, but then I just kind of got tired of being a poor starving artist, and I decided to sell my body instead. No,
okay.
It was,
you were still in your body regardless of if you were dancing or not, right?
I was above the paycheck anyway. So, but yeah, no, I decided to start escorting at age like 29 and 30, because I went through some breakup, and I needed to move out because my ex-boyfriend it was his house or whatever. So
hold on, let's back up here. So you were a dancer from what age to what age?
Well, since I was like 7, 8, 9, and then professional dancer up until like 30 years old.
Okay, so you're 30.
I'm 37, 38.
Okay, but at the time you were 30.
Yes.
Okay, so you're living with your boyfriend,
mm-hmm.
breakup, no money,
down on my luck, and I wasn't making enough I was dancing in a hotel in Las Vegas, and I lived in Las Vegas for 8 years, and so I just kind of toyed with the idea. I thought, well, maybe I'll put an ad up online and I'll see who responds, and then I'll just it'll somehow end up like Julia Roberts and Pretty Woman. I'll make tons of money and everything will.
It's a good movie.
It's a very good movie. Not really realistic, but I don't know, kind of.
I'm sure it's realistic.
Yes, for many. The world of female sex workers and male sex workers is very, very different. And
I have heard that,
it's
actually. Yes.
Yeah. Much more victims in the female sex workers.
There is, right?
Not as many. Like I think a lot of them can. That's a whole other subject. But so yeah, I went into escorting, and then I was about 30 years old, and it honestly just took off, and I really liked it, and it was amazing to me that I realized it was so very little about sex. I know that sounds like such a cliche for male sex.
No, but that's true. It's about companionship.
Yeah,
totally. It was just like.
And I get it. Like, I have no problem paying somebody for companionship.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, it's anything that I want it to be.
Mm.
It doesn't have to be more. It doesn't have to be less. It's an exchange of services for money. It makes complete sense to me. I think it's
actually,
a beautiful, clean idea.
I know somebody in the industry who's still a sex worker. She went from Vegas, moved to Miami, and she's told me many, many times, Carlos, you know, some people just pay me just to be their dinner date.
Yeah, just look pretty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just sit there, have a conversation with me. They great restaurant, pay for everything. They just talk and then just no sex, just pay me the money and leave.
Yeah.
And I have to say, you are very pretty.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, for sure. I bet you were busy.
I was very busy.
Yeah.
You know, I cater to the men that enjoy the boyfriend experience, which is,
Yes.
you know, like a, you know, boyfriend be my date for the night, whatever. It's, you know, more innocent. I kind of had the look of a boy next door, so I went with that, and it was good. You know, and you know, sex was a part of it. It wasn't just, you know, nice dinners and
Sure.
but it was amazing to me just because I felt like the men that I was seeing, it was generally age range from like 40 to 70s maybe, and they were all men that were married, and just that I feel like the majority of them got married during a time when it was just expected that this is what you did, and
absolutely.
you know, there was like there was no discussion about being gay or, you know, coming out of the club. It was nobody talked.
It wasn't allowed.
Right. So these guys that were that age range, they were of that generation where they just got married, and you know, they're in their early 20s, and they realize, wait a minute, I don't think sexually this is all working, you know, and so they're, you know, much later in life they find out what they want sexually, and just it kind of evolves, you know. And I feel like I can't imagine if I would have got married at 21. I could probably gotten married to a woman, because you don't know who the fuck you are when you're 21.
Right.
Nobody knows who you are at
Nobody knows
21.
when you're 30.
I know, seriously. Like,
I think I feel way more in tune with who I am now than
100%.
I did
yeah.
16 years ago. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just it's unreal though. Like, and these men, I think people just go through the motions, and they're just like, okay,
I just
get
have
married,
one
have kids,
one
and
quick
move on.
question.
Yeah.
You said there was a thrill. Was it the money, the thrill, or the danger, or
Or just a different experience.
Yeah.
Well, actually, that's
All right,
true.
did I just romanticize what
No,
this really
No,
was?
honestly, I would say my experiences aren't exactly the norm necessarily, but for gay male escorts, it's it can be like romantic. Like I've traveled around the world. I've had guys buy me, you know, thousands of dollars worth of clothes, like shopping sprees. Or one guy bought me like $2,000 worth of underwear, and all I did was try it on for him. Like just weird shit like that. Like I just never thought that would be my night, my day at the office, you know. But then there's the other side of it, which is not so much fun. And you know, what I found appealing about it, especially at first, was like, you know, and I couldn't usually get hard for these men for the most part. But the money turned me on. The money gave me a fucking hard on. Like,
Sure.
You know, just like, oh my god, I go in there for like 5 minutes, $500. You know, it's just like I was a whore. You know, I was, and it was just like.
Did you ever take any like Viagra or Cialis?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I have actually I have enough of those pills to last me up until like
You're 70?
Oh seriously, I still have so many. I would always buy in bulk. So, but yeah, no,
Well, you were
need that.
frugal with the money.
You know, the more you buy, the cheaper they are. So
Right.
I
Get a wholesale price.
That's right. And you know, gay guys are pretty open about Viagra. So my friends.
Afterwards, Daniel will tell you his contact info if you need some.
Well, you know, I've noticed one thing: straight guys are never really open to admitting that they even take them. I feel like there's like a lot of shame with that.
Why
you
is
know?
that?
Because
Look, if I don't get wet, I pull out the lube. Hello?
You need it. Like, come on.
Yeah, but you're the exception to the rule.
You think so?
Well,
Yes.
yeah, probably not a lot. Well,
See, I'm
you
so
know for a
open
fact,
about it.
I'm the exception to the rule.
Yes, you are. 100%. You will talk about everything, which I love about you. But if you're going to have sex, we've all had sex in this room.
Yes.
If you're going to have sex, you have to have a conversation about it. And I tell my children this all the time because they're not at an age where they're learning about sex and their bodies and all that. So you have to talk about it. My advice to them is the same advice whether you are 37 years old or 12. If you want to have sex and you are uncomfortable talking about it, you're not ready for sex.
Not only that, I think that you should know your body first.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Play with yourself.
Yes.
Learn to
Know
get
what
yourself
you
off.
have. How do
Know-
you tell somebody else how to get you off if you don't know what's down
you
there?
guys are way more evolved than I think most people are. Though. Like, I don't think people know how to even formulate those kind of sentences.
Yeah,
You know?
like I said, we're the exception to the rule
Yeah,
here.
yeah.
Like we are like.
It's great. You guys are like sex positive, and I think that's
Very
the direction
much
we're
so.
going. But I think most people in society, there's so much shame and.
Well, I think part of the problem too with the that people lack sex positive is why a lot of marriages fail.
Yeah.
Because people.
Well, it's that communication piece,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
If I don't tell you how to get me off and you never get me off, it's going to be easy for me to look somewhere
Yes.
else, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So for a guy, because we have the machismo, and we think, oh, well, what do you mean I can't get you off?
Right.
What
You're missing every spot I need you to touch.
Yeah, maybe you should get between her legs and fucking eat her out. How about try that? Oh, I don't eat pussy, but you're fucking stupid.
I've never understood that when people say that.
Well, I've heard that.
I
get, but
But same thing like women.
A blowjob is like going down.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I know lots of gay guys who are just like, I don't suck dick. It's like, what?
Really?
Yes.
There's only so many things you can do with a penis. Though.
I know, really.
But it's the same thing though. If you think about it, it's like women say, "Oh, I don't suck his dick." Why?
Oh, that bothers me too.
I don't know, I don't think girls really get it. Like,
then they're not doing it correctly. Look, I'm not trying to put any woman down, but if you don't enjoy sucking a penis, then you might not be looking at it as your own power. There is so much power in getting a guy off with your mouth, and it that turns me on more than anything.
Not
else.
only that, but the point is.
Well, we went off on a tangent.
Sometimes you gotta take one for the team.
Yeah, just deal with it. Come on.
Just take one for the team. I'm sorry.
But you know what? If I go down on a guy and I get him off and I don't get laid that night, which is fine. The next time I have zero qualms saying I need you to eat me out tonight. Oh, and by the way, that's all that's happening.
Yeah.
I have no problem saying that.
Mix it up, yeah.
Yes. Sometimes it's his turn, sometimes it's
Well,
my
that's
turn.
the problem, that people don't communicate and people are not sex positive because for some reason, even though we're progressive,
gosh, we can't be the exception.
we are stuck in a loop. Like we are stuck like in the mid 80s, early 90s.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah, like there's still I think with girls especially, there's so much. I feel like girls are taught to use sex as power and to manipulate men. Like that's how they do it. Like I don't know why. Like there's some girls who are like the Samantha character of Sex and the City who like love sex and they're just like all in touch with their body and stuff like that. Like I don't know why more girls aren't like that. I don't think it's maybe necessarily natural for most girls or some.
Well,
girls.
you're raised to be ashamed of your body, and
Right.
I think if you're raised to be ashamed of your body, you have a really hard time enjoying sex in general. And then for some women and some men, you have sex and then you realize that there's this power that unlocks once you do it. And I don't think that they're looking at it as an enjoyment piece for themselves. They're looking at it as a, wow, look at all this new world that just opened up because I used my vagina. And I could be wrong. I know some women who do use it as a weapon, and I know some women who just don't enjoy sex, and I just don't understand that.
But at the same point, if you remember the interview we had with my cousin, Jocelyn,
yes,
that will be airing next week.
Yes.
Hopefully. Religion played a toll there.
Oh, religion is huge. I mean, I grew up in a religion where women were, our role is to have children.
Yeah.
Which religion?
I was raised Mormon.
Okay.
Yeah. And it's definitely a different stance than I believe now. We don't really talk about sex. That's definitely for children making, and gosh, it's such a great part about being human. I don't understand why we don't celebrate it more.
Yeah, I don't know. But anyways, so you were saying.
I'm so sorry.
So you're an escort.
Yes.
Underwear model.
The money got you off.
Yeah.
The money got me off.
I've seen pictures of your body. You can model for me anytime.
That was then. This is now.
Okay.
So, I guess that was like 10 years ago when I started. Yeah, about 10, almost 10 years. Anyway, I had a good run. It was great. I loved it. I had fun. I made a lot of money, and I don't have anything to show for it now. No, not really. It just, I made a lot of money, but I found like the more money I made, and you make, it's like the more
you want,
or the more you want, and the more you need, because you're like fucking, constantly having to spend money, and you just like you just think it's never gonna end. And
now let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Everybody has a vice.
Yeah.
Watches, could be shoes, could be cars.
Those are yours.
Some. Most, but it's on hold right now.
Mine are shiny objects, also on hold.
And by the way, I'm waiting for my Ferrari. But beside the point, what was your vice?
You mean like material possession?
Yes.
Well, I bought a house.
That's good.
Yeah, it was good. I bought a house. I bought I did all the landscaping. I paid for all the landscaping in the back. I bought a brand new Dodge Challenger with like $30,000 cash. I put down like
SRT or just a regular V8?
V8.
I'm checking it.
Yeah, Yeah, I just lived very comfortably. Like I never not had money. And if I didn't have money, I'd be like, I'll get another 1,000 tomorrow. You know, it's just like,
Right.
and honestly, like, I'm not trying to like toot my own horn, but I was very generous at that time because I was, raised, I was raised to believe, you tithe or, you give something back constantly. So
what were you raised as?
Like Christian Missionary Alliance, it was,
Yes.
like, Baptist kind of thing.
Yes.
So, and just those beliefs just, stay with me to this day. So, but I was constantly just giving, like, not constantly, but I was giving money to a couple different charities, and I loved it. I just felt comfortable, and I felt like, I just felt like
You're doing something good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I just felt like I was like a successful adult. Like, what the fuck? How did this happen? And
And at this point, you're how old?
Like early mid-30s, and I started doing porn shortly after I started escorting. I did porn to promote the escorting, and then I discovered like I wasn't dancing anymore because I was too busy traveling and making real money. That I thought, well, I'm gonna do porn now because I thought of it as an opportunity to be a performer and perform and whatever. And it was not as skeezy and as gross or seedy as I thought it was going to be. It was like a really cool experience. I got to be in the porn industry and.
So how long were you in the porn industry for?
Almost 3 years, I think. 3 years.
So I actually have a question on that. That might be super personal, but since you're so open about money, Carlos and I were talking about this the other day, and he was telling me that homosexuality porn actually earns more money than heterosexual porn.
Oh yeah, for the guys, yeah, totally.
Really?
Yeah,
I told you.
The guys like
I
sometimes.
should have been born with a penis.
I told you.
Sometimes I have penis envy.
She knows this. I have clients in the porn industry.
Yeah.
I've been around it.
Of course, yeah.
I've seen it filmed. I've seen the.
You've seen it filmed?
Yeah.
I want to go the next time you get to go on set.
so
No, don't. It's not that
No,
exciting.
it's not.
not?
No, not at all.
Keep the fantasy.
Yeah.
Don't
Really?
do it.
It's not what you think.
It's not?
It's actually
It's
horrible.
so sterile.
It's
Is
horrible.
it? Oh, well, that
Yeah.
makes sense.
Just-
I can get down
Look,
with it being clean.
I'll tell you what I saw. We walked down,
Yeah.
right? I won't mention any names because there are a lot of my friends. Anyways, walked down.
I'm gonna show you the one I want to use.
There's scenes, and we walked in where the director was like, hold on. Will somebody shove some lube up her ass? Because I'm tired of seeing her grimace on camera.
Yeah.
And that's just the way it is,
Yeah, it is.
you know? So, and I told her, we were talking about it. We had a meeting yesterday, and I'm like, you know what? I said, male porn stars make double. And she's like, no. I'm like, 100%.
Some straight male porn stars do it for free. I know that for a fact. Like some.
Why?
Because they get to bang some hot chick. I don't know. Like they just like.
But your
it's an
face
ego
isn't
thing.
shown a lot in heterosexual porn.
True, yeah.
The male's face is very
But
rarely
you know
shown,
what's-
and very rarely do you hear them.
Yeah.
But you know what's
See,
really
I like
interesting?
porn where I can hear the guy.
I know somebody who is gay in a relationship with another gay male, and we're talking, and he goes to me, once in a while, me and my partner bang a chick.
Mm.
And I'm thinking to myself, well, are you gay or are you bisexual?
Mm.
Because if you're gay, you stick with, if you're a lesbian, you stick with the lesbian.
But don't you think
Yeah.
sexuality is more fluid?
It is, and when you're like a sex
But then,
worker, the
but
lines
why
are
don't
so
you say
blurred.
you're
I'm sure,
bisexual?
right?
Then? Yeah, but why don't you say you're bisexual? Why do you say you're gay?
Because I just think.
Well, I think you
people don't want
identify more.
labels.
Yeah.
I think people are just kind of like shedding that. Just like, don't put me in a fucking box. Like I want to just do what I want to do.
I think
you
that's
know?
why people are identifying more as queer now
Yeah.
than putting a
Well,
label as lesbian or bisexual
Gay,
or
but
gay.
that's the
Yeah.
question.
Queer just kind of. I
Back in the days when you
No,
use
that's
the
not
word,
everyone.
when you use the term queer,
Mhm.
it was used as
It
derogatory.
was a gay reference and
Right.
it was derogatory.
Right?
But I
So
think
now
there's
it's
power in
accepted?
owning that word.
No,
Yeah, it's like owning that
political.
word.
It's like.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like taking the power back
Right,
from the
right,
word, right?
Yeah, and so we're saying like faggot, like.
Oh, I don't like that word.
I just kind of like.
That's like the C word for me as well.
I like faggot.
Oh.
It's and I think we kind of gotta let go of those people get all uptight about it, and certain people say it, just like calm down, it's not that big of a deal.
It's like the N word.
Yeah,
I
it
don't
is,
like that word
why-
either.
Like, people are policing our speech. It's bullshit. Like,
Thank you.
See, I
Thank
don't.
you. From a gay man. Thank
it's
you.
ridiculous. It's so
Thank
ridiculous.
you.
They want to like.
I'm okay
control
being the
our-
outsider on this
Thank you.
one.
Hey, Laura Ingalls, get off the farm.
It's it has nothing to do with being on the farm. I think that those words have been used so much to hurt others. I don't feel that they should be given any power whatsoever anymore. Whether you're taking it back for yourself or you're using it to hurt somebody else, nothing good comes.
I am not gonna go on this subject right now. But what I'm saying is, and I've told you this before, if the day that you don't want me to use it, stop using it on yourself. Done.
I don't use any of those words.
I'm just saying.
Myself.
I'm talking about that culture. Okay, let's move on. So you were, because you know where this is going to go.
Yeah, we're just going to scream at each other.
We are not doing Hollywood.
Fair enough.
Okay, so you have a house, car, paid cash, charity.
You're comfortable. You're working.
Yeah.
You're now in porn so you get to have that entertainer's ability that you were looking for before.
Right. That was my outlet. I was very professional. I was a very good performer.
How many days a week did you work?
I want to know what your films are.
I did like 150. There's so much content out there. Like when I came into the industry, it was the tail end of the golden era. Like, just porn stars were still a thing. We would go on shoots for a couple days. We'd have like makeup or someone doing hair and makeup, and like it was like a production show. But then it was slowly already turning into just gonzo porn.
Cams,
like,
cams,
yeah. Like, I have the camera.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, that's what people wanted to see, and I think they, that other porn, it's.
Well, to be honest with you, like for me, my porn, I'd rather watch amateur and homemade than a professional.
Yeah.
Like the professional is so fake to me.
Yeah, but for me, I prefer the more professional porn, and it's simply because sometimes during amateur, the women don't look like they're enjoying themselves, and that I get such a really uncomfortable vibe. Like they're doing it because they were asked, or they're playing with something, but they don't ever seem, not always, a handful of ones that I've seen, they just look like they're doing it because somebody else suggested it. And I want you to be into it. At least when you're faking it professionally, you look into it.
What website are you going to?
Well, I follow one that I'm slowly starting to fall in love with. I love her stuff. Her name's Kimmy Granger.
What?
I love her.
What
no, she looks amazing. I normally use Pornhub.
Don't go to Pornhub.
Straight porn is kind of rapey.
You gotta go.
Straight porn is super rapey, right?
Rapey, not in a good way. It's like rapey is in like those girls really don't want to be there. You can tell.
That's why you have to go to X videos and look at amateur and homemade. It's great.
Is it?
But do the girls look like they want to be there, or do they look like, oh my god?
They actually look pretty dominating. Actually, most of the time.
See, it should be more powerful, right? Like I would think doing pornography makes you feel pretty powerful with your own body.
Yeah, I think so, but like for females, I feel like it's a totally different world. I don't know if they feel like it's empowering, because I feel like most of the straight porn I see, like it's super rapey. Like the girls are like screaming, and like I think a lot of it's editing too. But and I feel like they're obviously catering to an audience. There's a big demand out there for it. So it's like, why do you guys want to rape girls all the time? Why is it so
It's
aggressive?
not actually. Women tend to download more aggressive and brutal porn than men. I think they just did a study in January, Pornhub did, that the #1 video downloaded by women is gangbangs.
But I can see that.
Because they're taught like you can't do that.
Yeah, exactly.
You think so?
Yes.
See, I just look at it, I just don't understand the mechanics. There's only so many holes in hands you have. I would get overwhelmed.
But you gotta remember, it's not about the holes. It's about being dominated.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like right when it gets, I've never done one. I don't know how to answer this question. But like once it starts to feel good with one dick, that one's out and somebody else is in. Then you gotta start the whole change over. I would try out. I would try out.
Have you ever seen latex porn?
No.
Have you seen latex porn?
Yeah, kind of.
Okay,
what is latex porn?
So
I'm super excited.
So latex porn is, imagine a bed.
Sure.
They lay you down.
Sure.
They put a plastic, they vacuum seal you.
Oh.
Hold on.
Okay, see now I'm starting to get
let me finish.
claustrophobic and I'm sitting here.
Let me finish.
Ooh.
They put a hole where you have a straw so you can breathe, and they pour oil all over you, and a body rolls all over you, and people get off on that.
I don't get it.
Because it's all about senses, right? Mm-hmm. Sense, touch, the feel.
I don't think anybody can see my face right now, but
no, they see it on
disgusting.
Camera. Okay, but now think about a gangbang. Hands, constant different touches.
Okay, my claustrophobia is going out of the roof right now. I can't. We need to move on.
Anyways, what I'm saying is,
I'm uncomfortable.
Latex porn.
Yeah.
My gosh,
yeah.
right?
But
we found where my kink isn't.
But a gangbang, the reason why it's so downloaded, because women want to feel everything. They want to feel their nipples squeezed while somebody's putting a thumb in their ass. Yeah, think about it.
I will say I do like a good thumb up the ass while I'm getting fucked.
You see, so there you go. You like to feel the different orifices or different touches of something. Like
I just like a little surprise.
it's no different than a guy doing a girl doggy style and pulling on her hair.
Yeah.
It's a different sense. You see, so gangbang makes sense. Why is mostly being downloaded? 100%.
Yeah, I feel like, well, in the gay community too, that's a big thing right now. Like, all the guys just want to get fucked by hundreds of guys, because like I just think we're like kind of in this new era where, you know,
it's a little hippie-ish.
yeah, it feels like we're in the 70s, like we're pre-AIDS, and it's just like everyone's just like fuck, you know, I'm just like God, like, and I've been through that phase, and I'm out of that phase now, and so when I meet someone that's in that phase, like gotta fuck all the time, like fuck me now, I'm just like, oh, go away.
Well, you see, for me, like porn, I'm tired of interracial.
Oh, really?
Yeah, every time you click on something, it's like something interracial.
Oh, are they trying to make they're trying to make it political? Like,
yeah, almost. It's like,
I don't know if porn is the right space to be political.
Yeah,
well, it is. Yeah, it's very big political.
Is
yeah,
it?
Yeah, because
yes,
when I
very.
was in it, like,
I clearly follow one path when I look at porn.
well, if you know what you like, you know what you like.
I
Yeah.
do. I mean, I know it gets me
and
on.
I'm over it.
5 minutes,
you know?
I'm out. Yeah.
And I'm over it.
But, like,
So
I know when I was in the industry, a big thing was like, there's not enough black guys in gay porn, and like, so that was the argument, and then that was coming from like some of the fans, and then the people that were, you know, in production, they were like, well, there's not a demand for, that's what their side would be like.
Oh.
There's not a high demand for that. Most guys want to see white muscle jock types. Those are the kind of guys people want to see.
Oh,
Right.
see,
all
I
around
think
the
black
board.
guys have some beautiful bodies.
But then they would hire black guys, but the black guys look white, and it was just like they're just like white version.
They're darker white.
well, you gotta
Yeah,
understand
like,
that.
they're like, oh, I'm half a mix. It's like, well, this is not really black. You know?
Yeah, well, you have to understand that in the black community, obviously being gay is wrong, but a lot of them do what's called the DL on the down low. So a lot of black men will have sex with other men, but they don't consider themselves gay or bisexual. They're just having sex.
Yeah.
And that's like a.
I actually think that's almost healthier. I'm just having sex. I'm
that's
not
like-
putting a label on it. I'm
That's
just having
almost.
sex.
That's almost kind of like.
But they consider themselves.
Yeah, like a
they don't consider themselves fluid. They consider themselves heterosexual.
Yeah, it's like a
with
very-
a little.
action.
Yeah, it's like
Got
a very,
it.
very,
It's a very disassociated way to have sex, though.
It's like a guy getting a blowjob from a guy. I'm like, I'm not gay.
Yeah.
He just sucked my dick.
But honestly, some guys aren't gay. They just want to suck dick or get their dick sucked. And like, yeah, that's what I think.
Yeah, no, and I agree with you. It's no different than like, you know, I had a buddy of mine. He's like, dude, my girl cheated on me. I'm like, oh yeah, with who? He's like, another chick. I'm like, dude, you got no, you can't compete with that. It's like a guy giving you a blowjob. A guy will give you a better blowjob than a chick will, because a
Do you
guy
think you
knows.
could give a better blowjob than I could?
Damn straight.
Think you could give a better blowjob than I could?
I know I could give it better.
Huh.
Damn straight.
What
100%.
what tips am I missing?
Well,
You don't.
I like the hand action, the double hand with the
But you don't
popping
know a
up on
guy.
the.
You don't know a guy.
yeah, you don't. Yeah.
Yeah,
never felt
it's like
it.
it's no different than he or I going down on you compared to a chick.
Mm. The chick that wants to be there.
Yeah. Not only
Appreciate.
not only be there, but willing.
Yeah.
Willing.
Yeah, I.
And her purpose is to get you off.
Yeah. Okay.
Well,
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Exactly.
I like it.
As long as you're showing up and you're having fun, that's all that matters.
Right?
Absolutely. And that's
Yeah.
where it should be.
Yeah, yeah. But for females, it's like, yeah, you'll never really get it because you're not a man. But if you're showing up and you want to be there and like you want to service your man, like I think that's enough for most guys.
Yeah.
I think that's enough for most women. Truthfully,
True.
if you're there and you're excited to have sex with me, I'm in.
Mm.
Yeah.
And we see that's another problem though, that most women, like if a guy comes home and he wants to do his wife, oh, I'm tired.
Well, sometimes I am tired.
No, I get it, but you know what? Sometimes you can take.
Aren't you
over, too.
tired sometimes?
Fuck no, I'm like the Energizer Bunny.
Yeah, guys, especially
we're
Latin guys,
different.
They're yeah.
We're a different mentality. I'm Salvi, so I'm on fucking another level.
It just,
I mean,
yeah.
there are times where I don't want to be touched. Were there ever times you didn't want to be touched and you still went out and worked?
No.
Yeah, well.
I
work
didn't
was
ask
never-
you.
I guarantee you the only time that he probably didn't work or do something is probably because he was either had a cold or had the flu.
Well, I wouldn't.
There's a story coming.
Sex, like sex in porn and sex outside porn are two totally different things. Like it was
I'm
never
sure,
pleasurable.
right?
It was very
porn was like work, right?
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
And like that's why like in porn I wasn't a top a lot of the times. I couldn't fuck the guy because I couldn't keep it up because we'd be wearing condoms and the shoots would be so long. So I just bought them. Like I got fucked by all the guys, and that worked better for me because it's a lot easier to act like you're enjoying it, and if you have to not focus on your heart on it, it's too much work. So I could just bought them and I got by doing that. And really, how did we get on this topic? I'm trying to think. Wait, I was going somewhere with this. What were we saying?
We were talking about.
Did you ever fuck when you didn't want to?
Oh right. Okay.
Yeah.
So like porn was never really enjoyable. And then I would be escorting too, and sometimes I'd be like, I'm so over sex, and then I would just be like, I need to go have sex for myself, like, and so that would be enjoyable for me, even if I'd been like fucking all day or something, I would need that release because if someone's telling me what to do, like even now, if someone tells me what to do during sex, I'm just like, I shut down, I'm just like, don't do that. I mean, it makes you feel like I'm at work.
It's really interesting because
That's interesting.
I saw this interview with these two porn stars. I forget their names, but she was talking about how they're just having regular sex, missionary, and obviously they get into the roles, and he started kind of like talking, and she's like, whoa, you're acting, like just act yourself, don't say anything.
Were they a couple or was this?
They were a couple.
Oh, okay.
And because you get into the normal rhythm, like you're doing everything and you take work home, and it's like no, this is our time,
Yeah.
And she was talking about how she would have to like, you're acting like you're working, stop, and and I get that part because you're used to doing it so often that you don't know the difference.
And I think too, some people, if they're not a couple, if it's just like a hookup or something, maybe the other person that's not the porn star will want to perform or like impress, like, oh, he's probably used to this or he probably likes this, and they'll try to put on a show or something. It's just like no, just you do you, don't try to be anything.
So let me ask you a
less is
question.
more.
So when you hooked up with somebody that didn't know who you were and they kind of acted out like watching porn, was that hard for you?
Sometimes there were some guys that were just like, I think inside their head they thought, I'm a fucking good leg, and like the way they acted, it was just like, stop, because they would, I feel like they were acting like they were in porn, and like those tricks all worked for them consistently with every other guy, but I just saw through it because
You're in porn.
I'm in porn, I have sex, I have a lot of good sex too, so when you're not that great or you're so and you think you're the shit, it's just like, I'm gonna probably, shut it down, because I think humility is sexy, not being arrogant and just thinking that you're the best and you have nothing to learn, especially when they're like young, like they're like in their 20s or something, and they think like they're the best fuck or whatever. Like,
Nobody's good at sex in their 20s.
Exactly.
I disagree. I was great at 20. I'm
Yeah.
still.
I was good at
I
20, but I'm way better now.
I just keep getting better.
Well, that's my point. Like, sex was good, but it's phenomenal now.
I just think honestly, people want to know like what how do you get